People often ask me if I love her more than I love my other dogs. The answer is no. No, I don't. I don't love her more. Just longer. 10 years we've been together. She's my first dog. It's our 10-year anniversary this month, and I adopted her when she was at least 2.5 years old, I think, so that would make her about 13 now. So it's been 10 stable years. She has been herself for an entire decade, so much so that up until 3 months ago I hadn't realized her age. It just never clicked. 3 months ago, it was as if she decided there are 3 different fatal conditions she could die of, and she had all 3 at the same time. Basically, one night 3 months ago, on January 12th, she did a 180-degree turn. She went from being the dog I always knew to an elderly dog. She was hospitalized for 10 days, and when I brought her back home, things were not as they had been for the past 10 years. I'm not going to go into details because that's not what's important. It took about a month and a half and half a dozen different vets to figure out exactly what made her body fail, to stabilize her and come up with medication that will keep her stable and as healthy as possible for the rest of her days. We don't know how linked one condition is to the other. Is the kidney failure something she was destined to suffer from anyway? Is it secondary, caused by a massive inflammation in her stomach that nearly killed her? Was a spinal stroke caused by some sort of paroxysmal extreme pain incident from the relentless vomiting? Was it random? No one knows. And it doesn't really matter, like it doesn't really matter with elderly people. Their bodies are just failing. It's only natural. She would develop one condition or the other in her old age. It's just what happens. That's what the last specialist I took her to said, and that's what freaking hurts the most. That's my biggest problem. Her freaking old age. I just can't come to terms with the fact that she's old. Well, I couldn't. I guess I can now. At least I can say it out loud. Coming to terms with the fact that she's old has been a long and painful process. First, there was denial. My brain was just stuck to who she was prior to everything. Although I tended for her new needs, I would pretend in my head that it's all temporary and it will go away and she'll go back to normal. Honestly, looking back and remembering my arguments with that very first vet who dared mention chronic kidney failure, it's embarrassing. He must have thought I'm an idiot. I had even told him at some point that she's not that old, to which I'm sure he wanted to reply, "French bulldogs don't live to be 20 years old, you naive, smart-ass bitch." But he didn't. When you're in denial, you pretend that everything is temporary. Peeing accidents are temporary. It's not because of kidney failure. No. It's because she's been on IV. It's because she's on cortisone. That's why the apartment is her toilet. The medication is temporary. You take notes of the prescriptions with a start date and an end date. Cortisone up until April 5th. After that, she'll be cured, even if the vet and the very expensive biopsy you ordered specifically explain how there is no cure. Your life on hold. Temporary. I can't do this, can't go there, can't help with that because my dog is sick and until she recovers I just can't have any responsibilities, can't make promises, can't arrange appointments, can't come to the memorial service, can't pay my bills, can't pick you up at the airport. One thing that doesn't help is that old dogs, like old people, have good days and bad days. When you're in denial, you take the bad days as a sign of everything being temporary. She's just sick right now, she'll get over it. She's having a bad day. And the good days, The good days, you take them as proof that it's all gonna go back to normal. She's up for a walk today, look at her. She's been up for a walk this past week, that little spring chicken. I knew she would recover. Then, after you get over your denial, because you can only pretend to be naive for so long, comes a very weird phase where you think you can adjust to a new norm. A slightly more difficult norm than the one you were used to for the past decade, but still a norm. Laura's routine is not wake up, walk, pee, poo, have breakfast, sleep, wake up, walk, pee, poo, have dinner, sleep anymore. Laura's routine is now wake up, pee on the rug because she cannot hold it, get her stomach medicine, wait half an hour, have breakfast with medicine, pee again right after breakfast, wait for the other dogs to go for a walk, get out herself, pee again, poop, come back, have her second breakfast with medicine, spend the day between sleeping, peeing and eating small portions of food with medicine because many tiny meals a day are good for her kidneys and her stomach. Take her long walk at night, the only actual walk she now takes in a day, get her stomach medicine, have dinner, wait until mommy has her dinner, go out for pee again, have her last meal with medicine. It's not really all medicine, it's mainly phosphate binders. Go to the bedroom and sleep next to mommy until she feels like peeing again, hopefully not until the next morning. It's not an easy routine, but it is a routine. And when you're in that phase, you have convinced yourself that this new norm will remain stable and will accompany the life you share for at least another decade. You think that this is it from now on, and because it's so important to your well-being that you keep sharing a life with this animal, because you cannot imagine a universe where you exist without her, no matter how difficult this new routine is, you envision it going on for years and years, and in this naive misconception, you are again calm. One of the most valuable things dogs offer us is this endless stability, this day in, day out, even if the world is collapsing, I'll be here for you certainty. And the need for me to come up with this new norm, which I convinced myself could last forever, stems from the need for stability this dog has been offering me until now. In a way, old dogs become puppies again. Like old people, they become like children. Well, not really, but the fact that they become more dependent makes us treat them as if they are, in a way, children. Attend to their needs, remind them of their medication, read for them something that they can't read themselves, help them put their shoes on, help them bathe, crack a silly joke and watch them laugh out loud, reintroduce them to the world, explain the world. The more you explain the new world to them, the more you keep them updated and relevant, the more you think you can keep them around for longer. It's similar with dogs. You keep them going. You make them feel that they're not missing out on anything. You just add small routines to their lives and make them easier. Like a rug on the floor when she eats because she's lost muscle mass and her legs are giving in as she's eating. You throw a toy, but you never throw it too far and never on the tiles because she might slide and fall as she runs for it. You walk around the drain or around the steps so that she doesn't trip. You turn the lights on and off when you come back home so that she thinks she spotted you coming in the front door, like she always did, back then when her hearing hadn't failed her and her sleep didn't used to be so deep. I'm paranoid about Laura's diet. She can't have any treats or anything she's not supposed to eat, but I let her lick my fingers when she comes begging for food, and you can tell from the look on her face that she thinks she got something, as she always did. And the family photos are now centered around her bed, so that she doesn't have to get up or anything. You add these new routines or make your way around the old ones, and you convince yourself that this will be it from now on, for years to come. Like when they're puppies, they develop new behaviors every day. One night, Laura barked at me. She never barks, really. She's a mute dog. Well, she never did. She does now. Every night, when the day has come to an end for everyone else in the house but me and her, she gets up, sits by her bed, stares at me, and barks. She wants to go down for her last pee, come back for her last meal, and then she wants us to go to the bedroom and sleep for the night. And that's what we do. If she were younger, I would stop this behavior she's developed the way I stop all unwanted behaviors my dogs might develop from time to time. But I won't. This is part of the new norm that I cherish and protect. So is the rug underneath her paws when she eats, and the switching the lights on and off when I want her to notice me. I need the new norm, and she needs it too. We made it up together. We want to go back to having a routine, and the routine we can now have includes many new things, but that's okay. As long as we have a routine. You know, I honestly believe that she didn't die 3 months ago of the million things she could have died of because she wouldn't leave me. Because she knew there's nowhere else her body and her spirit could be apart from home with me. And for that I am grateful. And I express my gratitude to her every single day with small things she doesn't even realize, because I don't want to make a big deal out of anything. I don't want her to suspect for 1 second that something is going on, something that makes me anxious and worried. I even cry in secret. I take 1 million photos of her every day. Suddenly, it's like we're back to where we started. I was so excited in the beginning when I first brought her home that for the first year I was constantly photographing her. I didn't want to miss a thing. There was always something new she was doing, something new she was learning, something new she was experiencing. I had to capture it and remember it. It's the exact same thing now, clouded by the terror that every click of the camera might be one of the last ones. What if I don't have a photo of one of her last naps, of one of her last walks? What if I don't have a video of one of her last barks, of one of the last times she's dreaming? I have detailed folders with photos and videos of her life with me archived in years. 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015, 2016, 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. The 2021 folder is archived in months. January 2021, February 2021, March 2021, April 2021. I'm photographing her constantly, and I sit there staring at the photos and the videos for hours. I'm looking at her new face. I want to remember it. Oh God, how much I want to remember it. I did the same thing with my grandma the last year of her life. 1 million photos, 1 million moments. As long as you capture it, you expand it in time. The face of the one you love when they're in the sunset of their life is the face that holds all the memories of everything you've been through together. Every new click holds all the past memories up until that last moment. I watch Laura's face as the sides of her forehead have caved in from the muscle mass she's lost, and it's not just the face of her today. It's the face of all the life we've shared up until this moment.
Πού είναι το κόκαλα σου? Πιάστε! Πού είσαι? Τρέξε! Ποιος έκανε μπάνιο? Η Λάουρα έκανε μπάνιο. Πιάστε το Λάουρα, μπράβο, κερδίζεις. Λάουρα, θα πας στη γιαγιά. Laura, θες να πας στο πάρκο?
Γιατί είσαι μου τρωμένη? Μπράβο, Λάουρα.
Every evening I spend about 45 minutes only with her. She has to walk. It is very important that she does, and since she's become a bit lazier lately and I think she's fed up with our neighborhood, I put her in the car and drive her to her favorite place. We walk there together for about half an hour among the people. She sniffs. She goes around greeting everyone. She's a socialite. This is the very first place she loved years ago. It's her favorite walk. Taking a walk there with her is like taking a walk not back in time, but a walk that is timeless. It's as if as long as we are there, at least once a day, we are timeless. This place is like our private black hole where we can go in and out as we please, because we've made up our own rules and dimensions that are none of your business and that you wouldn't understand anyway because they're not in your realm of experience. There's a point during that walk when the concepts of time and space change. All our shared information, past, present, and future, is there from all the previous times we've been there and from the times to come, and we can see it. We can see our past and our future, and as we are pulled inside, we radiate, but no one can see that. And we don't want anybody to see it, we only radiate for us. We are aware of the world outside, but the world outside is not aware of us, and for a brief moment, we feel, in a way, trapped, but also infinite. It's funny, we started just the two of us before everyone else came into our lives, before I adopted more dogs and more cats and fostered a million others. It was just us. And now, although we're among many others, there are some times during the day when it feels that it is, again, just us. Just me and her. Her and I. It's as if we're back to where we started, in a way, rebuilding our new life together, setting the new rules, the new norm. You can trick yourself into believing that this new norm is a thing, that this is it from now on. This phase can last a lot longer than the denial phase because it makes more sense. The truth is that there is no such thing as a new norm with new rules, and there won't be one in the future. You can convince yourself for a while that every new routine, every good day, bad day exchange, every new trip to the vet, every medication added, are just part of a standard new reality that has set rules and a set everyday routine. Another daily medication, this is it from now on. A new habit, this is it from now on. A relapse, this is it from now on. Weak legs, this is it. The third meal of the day at 1 p.m., this is it. The rug under her legs, this is it from now on. The truth is that there's no such thing as this is it from now on, because what is and what will be from now on is constant change, and constant change will be your only standard that shapes the new reality every single day. Like with puppies, but backwards. Today she accepts the rug when she eats. Tomorrow she doesn't. It confuses her. She thinks I put it there because I'm trying to tell her that it's okay to pee if she feels like it. Today she barks at me because she wants to play. Tomorrow she doesn't. She just sleeps. She's forgotten that we play every evening after dinner. And the day after she barks and wants to play again. Today she's thriving and the medication works wonders. Tomorrow she throws up. The day after we rush to the vet, and the next day she's thriving again. Today she takes a long walk and sniffs and marks all excited. She's the queen of the streets. Tomorrow she pulls me back home after 5 minutes. And the day after. But the next day she walks again. But now she wants to go that way, not this way. Not the way she's been going for years. And when I think that this is it, that's the route we'll be taking from now on, she changes again and goes back to taking the old route. And when I think that this is it, then one day she won't walk and she pulls me back home and she just wants to sleep. The new norm is not having any norm. It's not knowing what to expect. It's taking every day as it comes. You are there beside her in her effort to keep going because she wants to keep going and she can't comprehend that constant battle inside her own body between continuing and giving up. By following some routines that have been there for an entire decade, by revisiting your own private black hole, you try to maintain the illusion that she is living in a constant, unchanging present. But she isn't. And that's okay. That's okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's almost midnight and it's time for her to go downstairs for her last pee. This last pee, as I go on the lift with her in my pajamas and stay in the front door while she runs to the flower bed and comes back, is one of our tiny black holes. It's where time loses its boundaries and where the past, the present and the future meet up in this condensed, narrow box that moves us up and down in space. 10 years she's been with me, and I must have taken her downstairs for her last pee about 3,650 times. And we maintain this small, silly routine until today. We both love and hate this midnight inconvenience. We hate it because we're sleepy, but we love it because it's been the mark of the end of each one of our 3,650 days together. That ride on the lift lasts exactly 22 seconds. But tonight it feels like it lasts forever. It feels like there's no world outside the lift, or maybe it feels like the whole world is actually inside it. I look at her and I'm wondering if she would choose this again. If she had a choice, would she choose this life again? This home? This routine, this short, inconvenient ride downstairs on the lift every single night. Would she choose me? Because I know I would choose her again and again and again. There is no doubt in my mind that I would choose her 1,000,000 times again. And that's when I realize that she's been better than me. I don't think I've been as good as her in the love, and that's why I'm wondering now if she would choose me again. Or if she should choose me. If she deserves me. Or if she deserves better. And that's when the guilt sets in, and it quietly stays with you every day from now on because it's already too late. Too late to change anything, too late to take that drive to the beach when you could have taken her with you, but you didn't. Too late to not yell at her that one time when you yelled, well, it wasn't really her fault. It wasn't her fault. Inside that black hole of a box that moves us around in space in those 22 seconds that last a lifetime, I can see my old self and try to scream at me to do things better. I see my old self in the lift, taking her downstairs one night years ago, and I'm trying to understand if I can hear my screams from the future telling me to do better. But I don't think I can. I'll do everything as I did, again. I'll make the same mistakes. I'll feel the same guilt. I'll scream at my past self in the end, but I won't be able to listen. This is it. This was it. This was our life. As I'm standing here looking at her, I'm trying to listen. Am I screaming at myself from the future right now? I can see my past mistakes now, but does my future self see my present mistakes and is trying to tell me something? If there's any place where I could hear my voice from the future, it would be here. But it's too late. We are downstairs already. The door's open. She goes out. I sit at the front door as she gets to her spot. I watch her mark the flower bed and come back inside. We get back upstairs. She goes straight to the kitchen and looks at me. She demands her last meal. It's one of the new things we added to our routine these past months. The more small meals a day, the better. She looks at me and she demands. I raised her to be entitled, and I'm proud of her. And that last midnight meal is one of the newest things. She's never had it before, and now she takes for granted that she will get it. Sir, yes, sir, I reply, and I serve Her Majesty, and I swear this is the best we've ever been. This is the closest we've ever been. Whatever this new norm without norms is, we're making it up as we go along, and we know each other so well by now, and we love each other so deeply that despite the guilt and the anxiety and the fear of the unknown, I wouldn't change what we've become now. I wouldn't go back. I don't miss anything. We don't miss anything. We are more connected now than we ever were.